Hello everybody, it's Scott here from HeyUGuys. I hope you are well. Welcome to another video review. This time we're going to be talking about Jon Stewart's new film, Irresistible, which is being released on June the 26th, which is, as we're recording this, next Friday, but you'll be seeing this week of release, I would imagine. As I say, welcome to the channel. Make sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel and leave us a comment below once you've seen the film. Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? What did you like? What did you dislike? Let us know in those comments. On today's review, once again, I'm joined by Stefan Pape.
Hello, you all right?
I'm all right, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not bad.
Good, good. And of course, our reviews editor, Linda Marric.
Hello.
How are you, Linda?
I'm good. Well, okay. I'm okay. I'm
okay. I think me and Stefan are very excited because this week marks finally the return of association football, which we are very, very excited about. It's going to be very, very strange watching it without any crowds, but hey, Germany have managed to do it, so yeah, fingers crossed it'll be good for us. So keep us busy during the last few weeks of lockdown. Unless, of course, you need to go to Primark. Everyone seems to want to go to Primark, so get down Primark. Anyway, back to business. We're going to talk about Irresistible. This is the new film written and directed by Jon Stewart, with Mr. Steve Carell leads the ensemble. So, Stefan, I'll come to you as ever for a little brief synopsis. So, can you tell us a little bit about Irresistible?
Yeah, so it's based in about a big mayor election. That's the kind of the main premise for this, and it's Steve Carell plays a political strategist for the Democratic Party, who sort of stumbles across this video of a working class man in the South, sort of really standing up for his beliefs and standing up for the people, against the local mayor. And they get wind of this video, and Steve Carell and his party believe they could tap into this crowd and try and win back the working class vote from the Republicans in the South of America. And so they head down, and it's Chris Cooper plays the man, and he goes to this small town, and it's a story about how he tries to sort of start up a big mayor campaign against the current mayor, with Rose Byrne playing the Republican sort of side of things. And it's a kind of political game of chess between the two parties and the two quite competitive strategists, which is a word I find quite hard to say.
It's one of those words, isn't it? Strategist. Yeah. A very, very crazy word to say. But yeah, I mean, obviously it comes from Jon Stewart, so it is a comedy, but it's also not a comedy. It's social political commentary on the Democrats versus the Republicans, the kind of way that media plays a part in elections these days, and how there's all this pressure on small town, rural towns to make sure they get the vote so that they can have a swing vote or whatever it needs to be. Linda, do you think that Jon Stewart, obviously he's known as being quite outspoken about certain things politically and economically and everything else, do you think he does a good job here of balancing the comedy with kind of the real world stuff that goes on when it comes to election?
Yeah, he has always done anyway, because of the Daily Show is very much a comedy as well as serious political points, political discourse. I think he did a good job. I mean, I could have done with some of the more sort of out there elements of it, if you know what I mean. I don't want to give too much away, but there are bits in it that I just think could have been left out, but I think he has done a really good job. My problem with films like this coming at this on an election year, I worry so much that he's so clever and so nuanced that I worry too much that the message might not go through, because the discussion politically in America at the moment is so binary. It's so with us or against us, that I worry that his message might get lost in that kind of discourse. But other than that, I just thought it was really strong, it was really funny. The performances are brilliant. Again, I adore Jon Stewart. I'll watch anything he's ever done. But I do. That's the one thing that worries me, is this self-flagellation by the Democrats that keeps happening every sort of election cycle, and I worry too much that the sort of him attacking his own sort of party might sort of backfire a little bit. But other than that, filmically, it's a great movie. So.
Yeah, I do like the tagline, as you can see on the poster, which is "Send in the clowns," which has so many different layers to it. Watch the film and what it's actually about, which I always think is really, really cool. I mean, Stefan, it is an election year, so this is stuff that's going to be happening, or is probably already happening for many months as we go into November, when Trump is up for re-election, and who's up against him? I can't remember who got the vote in the end. Sorry,
Joe Biden.
Oh, it's Joe Biden. I was going to say Bernie Sanders for some reason, but yeah, it was one of the two guys. But do you think it's quite telling that that this is coming out on an election year, and just how the next few months are going to be particularly heightened now, given what's going on in the world at the minute, particularly in America?
Yeah, I mean, it's very on brand, isn't it, for Jon Stewart to be so on point, you know, with what's going on in the world and stuff. So it's no surprise that in a year where American politics are so heavily discussed, he releases his big American political movie about elections. So that's it's fully expected, I suppose, in that regard. But I really enjoyed this film. I think I remember I sat down to watch it with my wife, and when it begins, I think she said to me, "Oh, this is exactly the sort of film I'm going to be in the mood for." That kind of sort of quite cynical kind of political strategist goes to a sort of small town, has his little heart warmed by the lovely locals, and it felt like it was really setting itself up to tick all the boxes of a very certain type of movie. And without giving anything away, it isn't that sort of movie, and it has lots of and there's lots of things that happen where you see a character and go, "Well, that's going to be the love interest," and you keep thinking maybe we're guilty of abiding by the tropes of movies because we're so used to seeing films, and so many filmmakers can be quite lazy in that regard. But I really felt this film was going to be something, and then it became something else, which I really kind of liked about it. And I think it was quite clever in the way it played with our perceptions in a sort of strange way, quite similarly to the kind of, it sort of tied in with the whole election campaign and the way that obviously things are sold that maybe are misrepresented to people in the sort of community. And I think in some ways the viewer was almost missold something as well, which I think was quite clever. So it has lots of layers, but that's because it's Jon Stewart, and I think I underestimated him by expecting it to be a straightforward film, but it's quite clever. It's got a bit of heart, I think. And like you said before, it's quite relevant. So I think as Jon Stewart goes, this is very much on brand, and I think any fan of his, which contains millions of people, will be quite pleased with this.
Yeah. Also, there's a sequence in it. Well, I've not told this, won't spoil anything. Where because they're in a small rural town, there's no Wi-Fi in the vicinity, and they have this massive argument and stuff over Wi-Fi. It just kind of plays with your perceptions of how big a part social media and the internet play in elections these days. It's almost like they're completely blunted, isn't it? It's like they're in 1980. It's like, what are we supposed to do now? What are we supposed to do with this election without any Wi-Fi? Which I thought was quite funny. But you're right. It does have a charm to it. It is very, very funny, but it is very much on point and does give you a kind of a brief look at exactly what lengths these people will go to make sure that they get your vote in a really surprising way. I was like you, Stefan, not to give anything away, but it is very, very surprising as to what it does and where it ultimately does and ultimately has to say. I mean, Linda, I wanted to ask you about the ensemble led by the amazing Steve Carell, who's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely
really,
fantastic.
Really strong, isn't it?
Yeah, so many cameos. Absolutely, like the star power of this film is incredible. Honestly, Mackenzie Davis. There's Topher Grace is in there. Rose Byrne again. Who else? I mean, Deborah Messing. everyone. Like every minute you keep like seeing, and I really like that. And I think that says a lot about Jon Stewart, that all these people want to work with him. And I don't think this has been a particularly sort of big budget movie. So I reckon lots of people did it as favor for him. So I want to go back to what Stefan was saying about the smoke and mirrors quality of the film. I really love that. I love that what you get isn't exactly what you thought you were going to get given. I mean, it starts off as this fish out of water thing, and then it sort of, there is no big epiphany at the end of it, really. I mean, the person, so I shouldn't really say anything, so I don't want to ruin it for everyone by saying what I think, but fantastic. Mackenzie Davis plays the daughter of the mayoral candidate, and she's fantastic in it. Again, she's the sort of the love interest, without giving it away again. So really good. And like I said, my only sort of reservation about it is I worry so much because it is so fraught, this next battle. The Democrats really need to win this, and I just feel like any kind of sort of criticism towards them could really play at the hands of the other side. So I worry about this self-flagellation, because this happened again last time in 2016, where sort of the sort of the right side, the people on the left, the Democrats, were so sort of critical of their own candidate that we ended up with, what we've ended up with. So that's the only thing I worry about. Other than that, I think the film itself is very cleverly done.
Yeah, we don't get political here on Hey You Guys, but just I
do. I get political.
Well, just for you both, I mean, do you think it's gonna swing the other way this year? Do you think it's gonna swing the other way, or do you think it's still, because obviously we won't talk about this too much, but obviously a lot's going on in America, but in a strange way it kind of feeds into the Trump side of things in such a horrible way that you just feel that it's not going to stop.
I have no idea, honestly. I couldn't tell you. I was convinced Hillary Clinton was going to win last time, and I was wrong, and obviously something really horrible has happened there, but I honestly couldn't tell you. I don't really want to call it either way, and I'm really not here to do so. So but no, Stefan, what do you think?
Obviously last time Trump galvanized the right centre, and you can only hope that he's been so bad that he's actually alienated the right centre, and hopefully he's got his minority. But having said that, who knows what to think?
Who knows?
Who knows what's going? Well, all bets are off this year. It's like the threequel, isn't it? Scream. I'm
not ruling out an alien invasion this year. I still think the president of the United States could be from Mars by the end of the year. We just it's that sort of year.
I love before we go to a close, there's I don't know if you guys use TikTok, but on TikTok there's some hilarious videos of guys going out onto their balconies, and you see it says just when you thought 2020 couldn't get any worse, and they've photoshopped the Death Star in the background. It's just kind of like, that's the next thing. Oh dear. Anyway, Irresistible is out on the 26th of June for you to rent at home. This is another Universal / Focus Features release, so this is for premium VOD. So probably set you back about £14-15 to rent it, and then it will go on other streaming platforms at some point in the next few months. So just finally, Linda, what's your star rating for this one?
I'm kind of between 3.5 and 4, but let's say 4, because I actually liked it better than his last film. His direction in this one is so much better. So 4. Let's go 4.
Go for it. Stefan?
Yeah, 4 stars for me. I really, really enjoyed this film. I thought it's quite clever and had a bit of heart, and it was, like you said, relevant and profound and stuff. And also, I just love it when Rose Byrne plays characters like this, and she's given full life. Because she must be the nicest person in the world, I've decided. To be able to play people that vindictive all the time, I've decided she's obviously lovely. But she was brilliant, and it's a great counter to the niceness of Steve Carell. So it was a good double act in this. I enjoyed it. 4 stars for me.
Yeah, I would agree. Definitely 4 stars. Really, really, really enjoyed this one. I thought Steve Carell was fantastic. Mackenzie Davis is great as well, and the ensemble is great. And I think it's quite, as we said, it's quite timely, but also finds the fun and the kind of silliness of it all and the absurdity of it all, but also is still very, very important in what it's trying to say about how in an election year things like this are going to happen more and more. So we'll see. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Just to remind everybody, June the 26th, this is out on VOD. Make sure you like and subscribe for this video if you enjoyed it. Make sure you head over to HeyUGuys.com for all your movie and TV needs, and leave us a comment below once you've seen the film and let us know what you thought. We'll be back with another review very soon with another movie that is coming out in the next couple of weeks, so stay tuned for that. But until then, take care of yourselves and goodbye.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys.
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey You Guys.